Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have one article for you in this episode. It's kind of lengthy, but it's well worth the read. Fits into some of the other things that I'm going to be bringing up in some of the other episodes this morning. This is off of informationliberation.com. The URL is in the description of the video for your convenience. And it says 20 vetted refugees who turned to terrorism after being allowed into America. While the lying media is perpetuating the lie refugees do not pose a terrorist threat, the facts show otherwise. Senator and soon-to-be Attorney General Jeff Sessions compiled this list of refugees turned jihadists in 2016, while Obama was pushing to dramatically increase the amount of so-called refugees allowed into the United States. On May the 25th of 2016, in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas, Bilal Abu, and I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'm going to be guessing at some of these names because I'm not from the Middle East, so I'm poor at their pronunciation. But it says he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for making a false statement to the FBI. Abu, an Iraq translator for the U.S. military, was admitted to the United States through the Special Immigration Visa Program for Iraqi translators in 2009 and subsequently became a citizen. Abood enlisted in the Army and went through the basic training at Fort Jackson in 2010, but left for unknown reasons. According to court documents, after being prevented from boarding an international flight, Abood told the FBI agents that he intended to go to Iraq and visit family. Subsequently, Abood left the United States through Mexico and then traveled through the various countries to get to Syria and join ISIS. A subsequent search of his computer revealed that he pledged an oath to the leader of ISIS, despite denying that he had never made such a pledge. On January the 7th of 2016, in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California, Oz Mohammed Yowans al-Jayab was charged with providing materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statements and representations to the United States government. He was separately indicted on March the 17th of 2016 for attempting to provide material support to acts of violence overseas. Al-Jayab, a Palestinian born in Iraq, was admitted to the United States as a refugee in 2012. According to the criminal complaint, beginning in October of 2012, the very same month he first arrived in the United States, Al-Jayab began communicating with numerous individuals about his intention to go to Syria and fight for terrorist organizations. In April of 2013, Al-Jayab made multiple statements to other individuals, later identified as Omar Faraj Asid al-Jarran, or Harjan, regarding his experience handling weapons and killing individuals in Syria. In November of 2013, just 1 year after being welcomed to the United States as a refugee, he traveled to Syria and posted on social media that he was fighting with various terrorist organizations, stating, "America will not isolate me from my Islamic duty. Only death will do us part." On January the 7th of 2016, in the U.S. District Court for Southern District of Texas, Omar Fajah Asid al-Hardan was charged in an indictment with attempting to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization, making false statements, and attempting to procure citizenship of naturalization unlawfully. The indictment states that he attempted to provide training, expert advice, and assistance, and personnel, specifically himself, to a terrorist organization. Al-Hardan, a Palestinian born in Iraq, was admitted to the United States as a refugee in 2009 and obtained a green card in 2011. When applying to become a U.S. citizen, he knowingly responded, certified, and swore untruthfully that he was not associated with a terrorist organization when, in fact, he associated with members and sympathizers of ISIS throughout 2014. During an interview in October of 2015, Al-Hardan falsely represented that he had never received any type of weapons training, when in fact he had received automatic machine gun training. According to media accounts, Al-Hardan told his wife, "I will go to Syria. I want to blow myself up. I am against America." On August 12th of 2015, the U.S. District Court for the District of Idaho, Fazlidin Kurbanov was found guilty of conspiring and attempting to provide material support to a designated foreign terrorist organization and possessing an unregistered destructive device. Kurbanov is a native of Uzbekistan who came to the United States as a refugee in 2009. U.S. Assistant Attorney General John Carlin stated that he conspired to provide material support to the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan and procured bomb-making materials in the interest of perpetuating a terrorist attack on American soil. According to the press reports, Kurbanov began his life as a Muslim, but his family claimed that they faced persecution after they converted to Orthodox Christianity. After coming to the United States with his family as a refugee, Kurbanov is said to have converted back to Islam and radicalized. On April the 20th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court of the District of Minnesota, Guled Ali Omar was charged with a conspiracy and attempt to provide material support to ISIS. Omar was born in a Kenyan refugee camp, and sources indicate he came to the United States as a refugee when he was a child, obtained a green card, and subsequently applied for and received citizenship. Omar is the youngest brother of another indicted fugitive, Ahmed Ali Omar, who left the United States in 2007 to fight for al-Shabaab. Another one of his brothers, Muhammad Ali Omar, was convicted in March of 2015 of threatening federal agents when they came to his family's residence to interview Guled Omar. During a press conference, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota, Andy Luger, said that Omar never stopped plotting and had previously attempted to leave the United States. On April the 20th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court of the District of Minnesota, Abdurrahman Yassin Dodd was charged along with 6 others with conspiracy and attempt to provide material support to ISIS. Dodd, a Somalian refugee who came to the United States as a child and subsequently obtained a green card. Dodd and another individual drove from Minnesota to San Diego to attempt to get passports across the border to Mexico and fly to Syria and join ISIS. On February the 18th of 2015, Al-Hamza Mohammed Jawad was arrested as he attempted to board a flight to Jordan to join and fight with ISIS in Iraq. Jawad was admitted to the United States in 2013 as an Iraqi refugee, and he subsequently obtained a green card. Jawad was charged with making false statement to the U.S. government officials. He also stated that he had been to the shooting range and had been running to get in shape and prepare for his upcoming travels, and that a uniform was waiting for him in Iraq. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court of the Western District of Texas, Abanazar Mohammed Ibram was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for conspiring to provide material support to al-Shabaab, a designated foreign terrorist organization, and for making a false statement in his immigration paperwork. Ibram is a native of Somalia who came to the United States as a refugee in 2007 at the age of 22 and subsequently obtained a green card. Ibram knowingly lied on his citizenship application and previously lied in his request for refugee status by falsely claiming that he was a member of the minority Awar clan in Somalia and subject to persecution by the majority Hawi clan. Ibram was actually a member of the Hawi clan and not subject to persecution. In fact, according to court documents, Ibram's family was famous, and through his clan lineage, Ibram was related to known Somali terrorists. Ibram also admitted that he lied on his citizenship application by having previously lied on his refugee application by falsely claiming that he had not provided material support to a terrorist group, when he had in fact provided material support in the form of cash member. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri, Abdullah Ramo Pazara was named in an indictment against 6 individuals. Pazara, a native of Bosnia, who sources indicate came to the United States as a refugee, later obtained a green card and became a citizen in 2013. Pizarro was never charged in the case because he is believed to be dead. According to the court documents, the others who were indicted provided material support to Pizarro, who left the United States to go to Syria and fight with ISIS just 11 days after becoming a citizen. Among other things, Pizarro allegedly told an individual about a mission where they captured a large area, killed 11 individuals, captured one, and added that they intended to slaughter the prisoner the following day. According to press reports, at the time Pizarro was purportedly killed in Syria, he was a deputy to one of the top ISIS commanders. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Missouri, Ramez Zad Hodzig was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists, providing material support to terrorists, and conspiring to kill and maim persons in a foreign country. Hodzig is a native of Bosnia and purported Bosnian war hero who came to the United States as a refugee. According to the indictment, among other things, Hodzig obtained money that he used to purchase materials and supplies, including United States military uniforms, tactical combat boots, military surplus goods, tactical gear and clothing, firearm accessories, optical equipment, and rangefinders, rifle scopes, equipment, and supplies, intending that the materials and supplies would thereafter be transferred to and used to support Abdullah Romero Perez and ISIS. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri, Sadina Unzik Hodzig was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists and providing material support to terrorists. Sadina is the wife of Ramiz Ziad Hodzig and a native of Bosnia who came to the United States as a, guess what, refugee. According to the indictment, Sadina, along with her husband, collected money from third parties and wired it to terrorists abroad. Also, according to the indictment, Sadina shipped 6 boxes of U.S. military uniforms, combat boots, tactical clothing and gear, military surplus items, firearms, accessories, rifle scopes, optical equipment, first aid and supplies, and other equipment to terrorists abroad. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Missouri, Armin Haverzig was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists and with providing material support to terrorists. Haverzig is a native of Bosnia who came to the United States as a refugee and subsequently obtained a green card. According to the indictment, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I'm guessing. I think it's Harsvik. I don't know. Collected money from third parties and wired it and his own funds to terrorists abroad. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri, Nahad Rozik was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists, providing material support to terrorists, and conspiring to kill and maim persons in a foreign country. Rozik is a native of Bosnia whose sources indicate came to the United States as a, say it with me, refugee, obtained a green card, and subsequently applied for and received citizenship. According to the indictment, Rozik sent funds to terrorists abroad and attempted to travel to Syria to join terrorists in Syria and Iraq. According to press accounts, Rozik was a truck driver and former mixed martial arts fighter who had previously been charged with endangering the welfare of a child after punching a woman in the face while she held a child, and in a separate incident was charged with assault after allegedly beating his girlfriend with a belt. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri, Madiah Midi Salkovic was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists and providing material support to terrorists. Salovic is a native of Bosnia who sources indicate came to the United States as a refugee, obtained a green card, and subsequently applied for and received citizenship. According to press accounts, Salovic was formerly an employee with a cargo company that deals with items coming in and out of Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. According to the indictment, Salovic collected money from third parties and wired it and her own funds to terrorists abroad. On February the 5th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri, Jasminka Remik was charged with conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists and providing material support to terrorists. Remik is a native of Bosnia whose sources indicate came to the United States as a refugee, obtained a green card, and subsequently applied for and received citizenship. According to the indictment, Remik collected money from third parties and wired it and her own funds to terrorists abroad. On January the 29th of 2015, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, a federal warrant was unsealed for the arrest of Libyan Haji Mohammed for allegedly providing material support to Harkat Shabab al-Mujahideen, also known as Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda. Mohammed is a native of Somalia who sources indicate came to the United States as a refugee, obtained a green card, and subsequently applied for and received citizenship. He is believed to have left the United States on July the 5th of 2012 with the intent to join Al-Shabaab in East Africa. Mohammed previously lived in Washington, D.C. area and worked as a cab driver, and is believed to have snuck across the border to Mexico after being placed on a no-fly list. Carl Gaddis, special agent in charge of FBI's Washington, D.C. field office, emphasized the importance of locating Mohammed because he has knowledge of Washington, D.C. area's infrastructure, such as shopping areas, metro airports, and government buildings. This makes him an asset to his terrorist associates who might plot attacks on U.S. soil. On January the 31st of 2014, in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California, Ahmed Nasser Talal Mohammed was sentenced to 6 years in prison for conspiracy to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Mohammed was admitted to the United States as a refugee from Somalia. He worked as a cab driver in Anaheim, California, where he raised money for the terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. According to the Department of Justice, the United States presented evidence that Nasser conspired to provide money to Al-Shabaab, a violent and brutal militia group that engages in suicide bombings, targets civilians for assassination, and uses improvised explosive devices. On November the 18th of 2013, in the U.S. District Court for Southern District of California, Isa Dora was sentenced to 10 years in prison for conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists, conspiracy to provide material support to foreign terrorist organizations, conspiracy to launder money or monetary instruments, and providing material support to foreign terrorist organization. Dora was admitted to the United States as a refugee from Somalia and subsequently obtained a green card and became a citizen. Dora worked at a money transmitting business that was the center of the conspiracy, which also involved Ahmed Nasser Talal Mohammed. On January the 29th in the U.S. of 2013, in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Kentucky, Wad Ramadan Awan was sentenced to 40 years in federal prison, followed by a life term of supervised release for a number of offenses related to terrorism. Awan is a native of Iraq who was admitted to the United States as a refugee in 2009. According to the Department of Justice's press release, Awan, whose fingerprints were found on unexploded IEDs found in Iraq, pleaded guilty earlier in the case on December the 6th of 2011 to all counts of a 23-count federal indictment. He pled guilty to conspiring to kill U.S. nationals abroad, conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction, explosives, against U.S. nationals abroad, distributing information on the manufacture and use of IEDs, attempting to provide material support to terrorists and to AQI, and conspiring to transfer, possess, and export Stinger missiles. During the investigation, while unwittingly working with an FBI informant, Awan drew diagrams of roadside bomb models and boasted about attacks on American troops in Iraq. In a discussion with FBI informant, Awan allegedly said that he was skilled with a sniper rifle and that his lunch and dinner would be an American soldier. On the 29th of January 2013, in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Kentucky, Mohammed Sharif Hamadeh was sentenced to life in prison for a number of offenses related to terrorism. Hamadeh is a native of Iraq who was admitted to the United States as a refugee in 2009, according to the Department of Justice's press release. Hamadeh pled guilty on August the 21st of 2012 to a 12-count superseding indictment. Charges against him included attempting to provide material support to terrorists and to AQI, conspiring to transfer, possess, and export Stinger missiles, and make a false statement in an immigration application. President Trump's refugee ban is common sense. There's no reason why any of these people should have been allowed into our country. If President Trump is to be criticized for anything, it should be for not making this ban even broader. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. And for crying out loud, share this on your social media. This should go viral. If some of the people who are shouting and screaming that what is being done here with this limited 90-day ban on travel is a bad thing, they need to read this. They need to think about this. It might make a difference, and again, it might not. But if you don't try, we'll never know.